say mythical monsters belong only in ancient tales, but what if some of them still lurk beneath the waves today? From terrifying sea serpents breaching near fishing boats to mysterious humanoid creatures spotted in deep waters, here are the 60 scariest mythical monsters caught in the ocean. Far off the northern Pacific, a fisherman lifts his line and finds a dark form turning slowly beneath the surface. Its shape unsettles him. Rounded, heavy, and wrong. Like something that should have stayed where light never falls nor sound carries. The crew says nothing as it breaks the water, glistening and swollen against the air. Only later will experts call it Aptocyclus ventricosus, smooth frogfish native to deep cold waters, its warped appearance traced to the crushing pressure far below human reach. In that brief lift from darkness, the sea offered something both real and unrecognizable, a reminder that its depths remember. After the storm rolled through the Sea of Azov, fishermen brought their find indoors. On a wooden table rested a pale mass, uneven at the edges, marked with dark lines that traced no pattern known to them, only the depth's design. A phone camera steadies near the table, light catching what looks both solid and pliant. The lens follows the curve of a broad form, pale beneath the glare, ending in a narrowing tail. Beneath it, the face resembles a stingray, smooth and distant. The recording ends abruptly, leaving a blurred image that locals replay in disbelief, certain it meant something. In the open deep, far below ordinary sight, a ribbon of light drifts through cold black water. It looks like one immense creature, glowing and alive, its shape bending with a strange calm that seems almost deliberate against the dark. As the camera nears, the illusion unravels. The form is not single, but many, hundreds of tiny living parts joined in sequence. Each one glows and labors with purpose, feeding, moving, defending, keeping the colony whole. Together they mimic unity, like cells inside a shared pulse. At 770 meters, its light cuts through nothingness, tracing a shape too perfect to belong. Along the shoreline, a dark shape lies among the rippled sand. The morning breeze drifts across its outline, stirring faint grains that cling to skin. No sound breaks the distance between the surf and this unmoving form, waiting under soft gray light. Closer now, the shape resolves into flesh. A wide mouth gapes open, revealing teeth almost human-like, but with canines curved forward. Its eyes bulge outward, fixed, as if watching from another place. Scales darken as air dries the slick surface. Even as daylight fades, it remains unchanged. Mouth open to the wind, a question left, stranded here. Some things in the ocean look less like fish, and more like experiments gone right. In the deep, pressure and darkness build creatures that the surface rarely sees. One of them now lies before the camera, sleek and narrow, with teeth faintly visible even at rest. This is the viper dogfish, a deep-sea predator rarely seen alive. Its jaw can thrust forward like a weapon, each tooth designed to trap prey in darkness. In this demonstration, the mechanism is shown slowly, revealing how it could strike without warning in the black water below. Yet here, even lifeless, it seems to remember the dark. The catch comes in slow, the net heavy with weight no one expects. The men pull together, water pouring from the mesh. Then they see it, broad, dark, pressed flat against the ropes, its outline unlike any fish they know.
Wah, ternyata dia kembali lagi, guys. Aku udah rindu banget nih. Coba kalian lihat nih. Waktu itu aku lepaskan dia masih kecil, sekarang udah besar nih.
It is the barong ray, or butterfly ray, a giant species once common across warm seas. The fishermen steady themselves, studying the ridged skin and wide head before one man lowers it gently toward the water.
Ini guys, megalodonnya gede banget. Ayo dah.
It slips beneath the surface, vanishing in seconds, as if the sea takes back what it lent, leaving only quiet swells and an unanswered question. The water stretches clear, calm and bright, sunlight filtering through the surface. Movement draws attention, subtle yet deliberate, barely disturbing the clarity. Focus lingers below, where shadows shift slightly. A shape emerges from above, suspended for an instant before gliding deeper into the water. The iguana dives, body streamlined and steady. Its limbs guide it smoothly through the water, tail trailing behind. Every movement is deliberate, fluid yet controlled, leaving the water around it calm as it descends deeper. It continues diving, fully immersed, remaining visible beneath the surface, steady and purposeful throughout its descent, never stopping motion or direction. The sand stretches wide, pale and textured, water nearby shimmering faintly. Something rests against the grain, still yet present, catching the eye. The surroundings remain quiet, emphasizing the figure's focus. Observing reveals no movement, only a flat shape blending with the sand. The fish lies long and flat, covered in dark spots. Its edges meet the sand naturally, creating camouflage that erases its presence. Observation shows no movement, no disturbance in the sand, only the quiet persistence of its form. Time passes, yet some things remain, still and present, quietly leaving traces of their existence behind. The water stretches wide, moving gently, reflecting the muted tones of the sky. Something draws the eye, stationary yet present, holding attention without movement. The expanse shifts subtly, heightening anticipation. Focus lingers without understanding, leaving quiet tension across the scene. The object stays above the surface, clearly visible against the moving water. Its shape is apparent, though its size is difficult to judge. Observation reveals no clues, leaving uncertainty firmly in place.
Where'd he go?
Time passes, yet it remains above the surface, silently present. Impossible to explain fully, yet unforgettable to the observer. The lake lies calm, its surface dark and endless. Shapes shift faintly below the horizon, teasing the mind without giving form away. Attention sharpens instinctively, following movement that hints at life beneath the water. Nothing concrete emerges, only a subtle presence. A figure floats partially above the lake, its shell-like shape faintly visible. A head sits just above the surface. It remains still, silent, leaving scale and form uncertain. Nothing disturbs the water, keeping the sighting mysterious and compelling. Some things are better left unexplained, existing quietly without answer, leaving space for thought and wonder. Silence holds the scene intact. Shadows shift across the sandy seabed, currents swirling faintly. Something stirs just out of clear view, hinting at life hidden beneath the waves. Attention focuses instinctively, following subtle movements that suggest presence, but nothing fully reveals itself. Curiosity grows with each passing moment. A creature rises above the sand, its white head prominent. Bulging eyes peer carefully into the water. Its body lifts slightly, giving a sense of depth and form. Still and silent, it waits without motion. They call it the Hosugai. Some creatures remain largely unknown, their presence subtle and quiet, leaving space for thought and imagination. Mystery lingers. Flashlights drift over the slow river, catching faint movements on the surface. The men speak softly, their words carried by the still air. Each sound feels heavy, absorbed by the dark. Nothing shifts, yet tension lingers above the quiet water.
Cái chồng hả? Ôi, ôi. Đâu rồi? Rồi.
One man kneels near the edge, empty hands resting on the boat's side. A tug jolts him forward, sudden, forceful. He slips soundlessly into the dark. The others move fast, flashlights cutting across rippling blackness, searching for what's no longer there. They say the river keeps what it takes, silent and patient, until another night draws someone close enough again. The Chena River lies beneath a pale sky, its waters slow and thick with cold. The banks remain still, and the air feels watchful, heavy with quiet anticipation. No sound disturbs the flow, yet it carries an unspoken weight. Beneath the surface, something long moves, unhurried and deliberate. It doesn't rise, doesn't sink, only glides forward, tracing unseen patterns beneath the dull current. Its presence feels aware, yet beyond understanding. They call it the Chena River Monster, though no one agrees on what they've seen, only that the river sometimes remembers to move in ways that water shouldn't ever know. Beneath the quiet waters off Awashima, something ancient stirs. The sea holds its breath, shadows bending where light barely touches. Divers move slowly, their light slicing through the deep as if afraid to wake what sleeps below. Every ripple feels older than time itself. From the depths, a long shape emerges, its body coiled, jaws lined with rows of needle-like teeth. The creature moves with a slow, sinuous rhythm, its skin pale and ridged like something carved from memory. Cameras follow, unable to keep still. They call it the frilled shark, a survivor of 80 million years, surfacing only to remind. Strange things appear where the river runs quietly. The water moves slowly, carrying bits of light across its dark surface. There is nothing else around, just the steady sound of flowing water and still air that feels heavier than usual. Something about the scene seems unusual. Something long moves against the current, dark and smooth, gliding with a steady rhythm. Near the surface, a tail rises once, forming 3 points before slipping under again. Its movement feels too certain to be chance. What follows is quiet, but the feeling remains that it hasn't gone far. What if you're standing by the ocean, watching the water move softly under the sun? Everything feels calm and still, until something below the surface draws your eyes. It's faint at first, blending with the waves, but it's there.
E aí, cara, alguém me consegue explicar o que é isso aqui? Tá andando embaixo d'água? Alienígena, velho.
Then you see it, a brown shape with yellow spots scattered across the top, resting low in the water. Long tentacles hang beneath, touching the surface. It stays still, unclear, and quiet.
Tá respirando embaixo d'água. Mano do céu. Galera, que bagulho doido.
Is this something alive, or something else the sea carries close to shore? The tide moves softly, and the thought lingers, calm yet strange, refusing to fade away. Ancient rivers carry more than stories. They hold silence that feels older than time, where the surface moves without reason. In places like this, calm hides things people can't explain, waiting beneath the green water of Thailand's rivers. Peeking above the water, something dark catches the light. The form is uneven, almost blending into the water, its color nearly the same. It moves gently, never showing all of itself.
ข้างๆให้
Is this the creature they call the river dragon? Or just something no one understands? The shape drifts on, as if it knows when to hide and when to appear again. They say the ocean hides more than we could ever name. In Aguadilla, Puerto Rico, a blue glow moves beneath the dark surface, bright and steady, cutting through the waves like a slow pulse. The water reflects faintly, revealing nothing. The light continues forward, smooth and unbroken. In the distance, a faint shape appears in the water, floating just ahead of the glow. Its outline is hard to define, but it feels deliberate, like it belongs there. The light slows, staying close to the figure, both holding still in the vast open sea. What are people really seeing here? Imagine sitting by the pier one quiet morning, coffee warm in your hand, when something out there catches your eye. At first it's nothing, just the water's steady motion, until a darker shape shifts against the calm. You lean forward. Then something long breaks the surface, part of it peeking out before sliding forward again. Its movement is smooth and deliberate, the color almost blending with the water itself. It doesn't sink, just stays half shown, half hidden. The sea keeps its distance, quiet and still, as if uncertain of what it's revealing. Is this really what they think? Sometimes the sea gives back what it once took. People gather quietly on the beach, drawn by something lying along the shore. The air feels heavy, and no one says much, unsure what they're looking at, or why it feels wrong to get closer.
White dreary beach, looking for some weird creatures.
Washed up ashore is a long, wide creature covered in barnacles. Its pale surface looks rough and uneven, like it's been in the water for years. Some take photos, others just stare, waiting for someone to explain.
That's its brain.
No one dares to touch it. What secrets does the ocean keep before choosing to return them? What if one night you came across something so huge on the beach that people nearby stopped what they were doing to look? The waves move slowly, breaking the stillness as beams from flashlights sweep across the dark sand. In Australia, a white, massive shape lies washed ashore. It's long, unfamiliar, and smooth, its outline shifting under the uneven glow of the lights. People gather close, poking at it with sticks, unsure if it's flesh or something else entirely. The air smells heavy, a mix of salt and decay. Some things the ocean brings to shore are never explained. While walking along the beach, something in the distance catches her attention. The wind feels still, and the horizon looks strangely quiet, as if waiting for her to take another step forward. A faint shape rests near the edge of the waves.
Chimeras or ratfish or angelfish. This is a deep-sea cartilaginous fish closely related to sharks and rays. I walked it out to a rip current and
This is when a girl notices something washed ashore. It's small, grayish, and still wet from the tide. She picks it up carefully, and to her surprise, its fins begin to flap slowly. Without hesitation, she carries it back toward the water and releases it.
hopes that it would go back to sea. But first it swam back in a little circle where I could see its big, beautiful blue eye. Deep-sea fish tend to have really big eyes to absorb more light in the dark depths of the ocean. It did eventually swim out into a rip current, and I really hope it made it. Good luck out there, little bud.
The ocean has a way of reminding people how little they truly know it. What if you glanced across the surface of a quiet lake and noticed something unusual moving just beneath the water? The sun reflects softly off the gentle waves, and everything seems ordinary at first glance. Then a long form slowly emerges, partially visible above the surface. Its outline is unclear, but the shape stretches across several feet. The footage is blurry, but the size is unmistakable. Even though only part of it can be seen, it hints at something far larger than any normal lake creature. Could this be Champ? Many have wondered about sightings here, but nothing has ever been proven. Some creatures in the zoo catch your attention without making a sound. A man stands beside the enclosure holding a fresh fish, and the water moves gently around the Indian gharial. Then it slowly reaches forward, opening its mouth and attempting to swallow the fish whole. Its long snout and sharp teeth are visible, each motion careful and precise. Watching it closely reveals how this animal naturally handles food, even in captivity. Even simple actions like feeding can reveal unexpected behavior, showing how these animals interact with their environment in small but fascinating ways. Strange things appear in the deep water around the oil rig. The ocean is quiet, and dim lights from the submersible barely reach the dark shapes below. The scene feels heavy, full of the unknown pressing on every corner of the frame tonight. As the camera rises, it captures a large, brown, formless creature floating in the dark water. The camera follows closely, showing its size and odd texture as it blends with the darkness of the deep ocean floor. What this creature might be remains unknown, something rarely seen and never fully understood beneath the water. An unusual shape appears far out on the horizon, catching the attention of everyone on the cruise ship deck. Passengers lean against the railing, murmuring softly as darkness stretches endlessly around them. Nothing else interrupts the quiet night, and all eyes focus on a single bright spot far ahead. Then a steady glow shines from that single spot on the water, casting pale reflections along the small waves. Passengers remain captivated as cameras record the scene. Nothing else visible but that solitary light over the dark ocean. Could this be something unknown below the waves? Or a rare natural occurrence? Mystery lingers. Deep beneath the ocean, strange forms glide silently in the darkness where light barely reaches. Cameras capture glimpses of creatures moving slowly through the black water with faint hints of their bodies shimmering in the dim glow. Nothing else is visible, and the surrounding depths seem endless and empty. Then one creature swims into view with its distinct features catching the camera's eye. Its wide jaw and tiny teeth are visible as it moves gracefully through the water. No other animals appear nearby as it continues silently. Could this be a rare sighting of deep-sea life? A creature few humans have seen? The lake holds secrets few have ever seen. Ripples form above the water as something moves beneath the surface. The faint motion spreads outward, seemingly endless. Shadows shift subtly with the current while the creature glides beneath. They call this the Lagerfliote worm. Its long body curls slowly under the water, barely visible except for ripples above. It moves quietly and continuously, revealing almost nothing about its complete form. The ripples hint at something vast beneath, shifting slowly in the depths. The lake hides much still unseen, leaving lingering questions that may never be answered. Some creatures in the ocean remain hidden for years before appearing unexpectedly on a shore. Waves lap quietly nearby as the massive body lies washed up, partially covered in sand. Its strange patterns and sharp projections make it unlike anything familiar. No one can identify it immediately. Scientists examine the body, measuring its length and noting the unusual structures along its back. Every angle of its body is carefully studied in an effort to determine its species or origin. What exactly this creature is remains unknown, leaving endless speculation and questions about life in the depths of the ocean. Could it be something entirely new? Imagine walking along the riverbank when distant figures appear near the water. Their movements are deliberate and methodical, yet the details remain unclear. Something unusual draws your gaze, but you cannot see it fully. Figures shift and objects lie partially exposed on the grass. Men in white protective gear gather along the riverbank. They pick up an object and place it carefully on a stretcher. A dark fish-like tail protrudes outward. The scene is filmed from a distance, keeping full details unclear. The atmosphere feels tense. The riverbank falls silent. Questions remain about what was taken that day. No one can confirm. Below the ocean surface, sand shifts subtly under faint currents. Shapes twist and curl in ways barely noticeable, almost blending with grains and debris scattered across the floor. Shadows stretch and retract slowly, forming unusual patterns that catch distant observation. A Nemertia worm lies coiled among sand and stones. They say it extends a tubular proboscis to capture passing prey. Most are tiny, living between grains, but some grow large enough to drift through the water column. Scientists estimate thousands more species await discovery. The ocean floor holds secrets still unknown, glimpsed only in fleeting movements too brief to fully record. Behind a row of trees, a person watches the water from a distance. Waves lap gently at the shore, and sunlight glints across the surface. Movement catches the eye, subtle and quick, barely distinguishable among the reflections and ripples that shift constantly. Curious, the person steps closer and sees a tail partially emerging from the water. Its shape is faint and slick, leaving questions about what it could be. The scene is captured from behind the trees, keeping the full detail unclear. Silence falls across the beach. Only fleeting glimpses remain to suggest what might inhabit the shallow waters nearby. Floating along the river, the water glimmers under the sunlight. Ripples shift unexpectedly, drawing the observer's attention from the boat. Something moves just beneath the surface, slipping quickly and disappearing before the eyes can follow. Currents and reflections make it difficult to see fully. Suddenly, a creature peeks out of the water, gliding quickly past the boat. Its shape is dark and sleek, partially visible, leaving the observer unsure of what they are witnessing. The moment is captured from a boat, keeping full detail obscured. The river continues to flow silently. Only fleeting glimpses suggest the presence of something unusual. Beneath the surface of the Red Sea, a large shape moves slowly among sand and patches of seagrass. Small fish swim nearby, weaving through currents while the larger creature glides steadily across the seabed. Its movements are deliberate, drawing attention without revealing its purpose. dugong uses its downturned snout to probe the sand, searching for food. Its fluked tail propels it slowly while juvenile golden trevally follow, feeding on small creatures disturbed by the dugong's activity. This species can be distinguished from manatees by its tail shape and snout orientation. The sea continues to move around them, full of life. On the surface of the Persian Gulf, a large shape floats slowly among gentle waves. Sunlight glints off the water, but details of the creature remain unclear from a distance. Ripples shift around it while the body stays still, moving only with the water's flow. The creature has a tail and a brown and black body. It floats without any motion of its own, raising questions about its nature and origin. Footage captures it from a distance, keeping full details obscured. The Gulf remains calm, and the floating figure hints at something unknown beneath the waves. Only speculation remains. On the waters off the coast of British Columbia, a pale shape rests at the surface. Gentle waves ripple nearby, and sunlight glints across the water without disturbing the figure. Its presence raises questions as it remains still and silent.
And tell me what you think.
A marine creature emerges partially above the water, pale in color. It does not move, and only a small white section is visible, leaving questions about the rest of its body. Previous sightings suggest it has appeared in these waters before, but no full identification has been made. The stillness of the surface stretches across the bay, leaving a sense of mystery. On the surface of the lake, the water stretches calm and still. Ripples appear briefly in certain areas, but nothing rises above the surface to suggest its source. Light reflects off the gentle waves while distant hills frame the view. Beneath the water, a long shape moves slowly just below the surface. It is dark and elongated, seen only from afar, leaving its full form unknown. The footage shows minimal movement, making identification difficult and mysterious. This sighting adds to previous reports of unusual creatures in the lake over the years. The water remains calm, and the long figure lingers unseen. Kayaking across the calm ocean, sunlight sparkles on the gentle waves. The paddler glides steadily, unaware that something unusual lies just below the surface. Movement emerges slowly, long and subtle, rising from the depths ahead. Currents flow around it silently.
What the?
hell is that?
A long creature surfaces partially above the water. Using the paddle, it is lifted slightly, revealing a transparent jelly-like body. Light passes through its form while the water ripples gently around it. Its unusual shape raises questions about what it truly is.
That's huge. I would not have a clue what that is.
The creature floats silently, undisturbed, leaving a sense of mystery over the open water ahead of the kayak. A stir of excitement spread along the beach as something unusual appeared in the water. The waves shifted subtly while people watched from the shore, unsure what they were seeing. Phones were raised quickly to record the event quietly for later review.
Here comes all the cops, lifeguards.
An enormous serpentine figure emerged from the water, estimated at 20 to 25 feet long. Police and lifeguards arrived shortly after, asking the crowd to move back while the creature remained in view. The spectacle drew both fear and curiosity.
Right there it is still. Yep, everybody's running out there trying to get their video cameras.
The beach emptied slowly, leaving the long figure floating silently and unexplained, sparking questions about its origin and nature. On the waters near the port of Morehead City, the ocean glimmers under early light. Gentle waves lap against the hull of a charter boat as something dark shifts beneath the surface. Ripples move around it slowly while the full shape remains hidden from view.
Look at that.
Part of a large creature rises briefly above the water, dark and indistinct. It sinks again, floating partially while currents flow around it. Captain Daniel Griffey records the sighting from his vessel, leaving much of the rest of its body unknown. This rare encounter adds to other unexplained sightings in the area. The dark figure floats silently, leaving the water calm and mysterious. Strong waves crash along the open ocean, tossing spray high into the air. The water churns with power, making it difficult to see far across the surface. Occasional whitecaps shift as something distant moves slightly, barely breaking through the rough waves. A figure emerges just enough to be noticed. A small head or similar shape peeks out of the water, leaving the rest unseen beneath the waves. Its size and outline suggest a humanoid form, though details are unclear. The spectacle draws attention without revealing the full creature or its movements. Some believe these glimpses may be actual mermaids, hiding beneath the waves. Along the calm waters, ripples shift subtly across the surface. Mist drifts over the waves, and sunlight glints off gentle swells. An unusual shape remains mostly unseen beneath the water, moving slightly with the currents as its full form remains hidden. A long figure surfaces briefly, sinking and floating slowly. Part of its body is visible, revealing a forked tail. It remains mostly underwater, with currents flowing around it, while partial glimpses are recorded in the footage. The sighting adds to the collection of unexplained encounters with long aquatic creatures over time. Legends persist as the long figure drifts quietly below the surface. The water shifts slightly as something moves beneath the surface. Small waves break gently around a dark shape hidden under the water. Sunlight glints across the surface, showing faint motion below calm waves. The creature moves slowly while currents flow quietly around it. A strange figure glides just beneath the surface. It silently drifts with the current, fully hidden. Only faint outlines are hinted at by sunlight reflecting off the water. The sighting suggests something unknown lives here unseen in the water. The figure disappears beneath the surface, leaving mystery and unanswered questions about what remains hidden under the water. Deep in the ocean, a manned submarine stays still above the water. Light barely reaches the surrounding area, while currents flow gently around the vessel. Shapes shift slowly in the distance, their outlines difficult to see clearly in the dim glow. A deep-sea creature floats beneath the surface, moving with the current without rushing or stopping. It drifts calmly and naturally, giving the impression of steady motion. This recently discovered organism represents a form never seen before by humans at this depth, until now, quietly existing here. The figure drifts silently through the water, leaving questions about unknown life. People were filming along Lough Foyle when a large shape passed beneath the surface. Ripples spread outward from the disturbance, drawing everyone closer to see it clearly. Only a portion appeared above water briefly, revealing hints of size and speed.
What is that? See it? Is that a hair? Here, get this out.
The dark shape cut through the water quickly, moving toward deeper areas of the channel. Its size seemed far larger than anything normal in the lake. The camera caught only seconds of it before it vanished again beneath the surface.
What's that?
Those present exchanged quiet words, unsure what had passed before them. Nothing more appeared, and the water moved on, silently. A team of geologists surveys the dried expanse of Rutland water when something strange catches their attention. Uneven shapes appear across the cracked mud, drawing the team closer to investigate. The ground shifts slightly under their feet and an outline begins to emerge. They discover a massive skeleton partially exposed. Experts record measurements and note patterns unlike any known animal. Segments suggest an immense size far beyond ordinary creatures. Researchers trace each bone carefully, mapping the formation across the cracked surface. Locals whisper tales, calling it a sea dragon. The remains stay partially buried, leaving questions about their origin unanswered. A diver swims through the clear waters of the ocean when something unusual drifts past in the distance. The shape shimmers faintly against the sunlight, almost blending with the water around it. Curiosity draws the diver closer to observe it more clearly.
This creature is a salp, and it may look like a jellyfish, but it actually is not a jellyfish at all. Salps are a type of tunicid, which are a group of animals known as sea squirts, which may sound really weird, but they are actually taxonomically closer related to humans than jellyfish. And salps are
The object is large and oddly shaped, almost completely transparent. It glides smoothly through the water, twisting and turning in ways that are difficult to follow visually. The diver watches silently as it moves past and slowly disappears from view.
actually also related to all animals with backbones. You typically see them in these offshore pelagic environments, which is this type of deep blue open ocean. Salps are non-selective feeders, eating basically anything that they can trap into their feeding net, which can be anything ranging from bacteria to larvae and even types of phytoplankton. And salps have a very complex lifestyle, growing so fast they can actually reach maturity in 48 hours, making them one of the fastest growing
The nature of the object remains uncertain, leaving questions about its origin unanswered. Only the recording remains as evidence. A remotely operated vehicle descends into the deep ocean, reaching 4,300 meters below the surface. The water is dark and silent, with only the ROV's lights illuminating faint shapes ahead. Scientists monitor the feed closely, searching for unusual life forms. A faceless cusk eel appears, gliding slowly through the water. The ROV maneuvers a net carefully around the eel, capturing it without harm. Researchers observe its smooth body and unique anatomy in real time for further study. The creature is released back into the deep ocean, leaving scientists amazed and with many unanswered questions about its biology. Far below the surface, lights from a submersible move through the deep ocean. The pilot adjusts focus, revealing faint outlines moving in the distance. No solid form stays for long. Shapes shift and blur briefly before changing again. The water seems alive around it. The cameras track a single figure as it glides silently through the depths. Technicians record every second in stunned silence. Movements are smooth, unpredictable, and difficult to follow. The figure fades from view, leaving the crew with only questions and uncertainty about what exists in the depths beyond their sight and understanding. Light filters from above into a large tank, revealing subtle movements of water currents and reflections shifting across surfaces and glass. Fish swim slowly past each other, while pale shapes move steadily in the distance. Light patterns shimmer slightly over everything. Several paddlefish glide past, mouths wide open as they filter feed steadily. Movements are slow and precise, cutting through the water alongside other fish calmly and continuously in the tank. These creatures shift subtly, appearing larger or smaller than expected, leaving viewers unsettled by what they see. At 2,500 meters, a submersible drifts along a ridge feature, lights revealing rock formations and small movements among crevices and ledges where tiny creatures slip past unnoticed. Faint glimmers mark shapes for a moment before currents carry them out of the camera's view.
Wow, look at those eyes! Oh my God! Oh, and our interns think that the fish looks like Falcor, the dragon from the Never-Ending Story.
A lot of them are only known from single specimens collected with deep-sea trawling or dredges.
A fish from the Aphionidae family glides into view, its translucent body visible against the ridge rocks. Experts note, this is the first confirmed sighting of a living member of this family at such depth, feeding gently among small particles in the water.
There has been a big debate about whether these are pelagic, living up in the water column, or whether they're associated with the bottom, like this one is. So not only do you have the first sighting, but you've got some of the first evidence to not necessarily solve that debate, but make a strong argument that yes, the family is a...
These creatures remain elusive, moving slowly along the ridge, leaving scientists with only questions and wonder. Deep along the Jinki River, ripples disturb the surface as something dark shifts beneath the water. Witnesses murmur from the bank, pointing and craning to see what moves strangely against the current. No one can discern its exact shape or size. The creature emerges slightly above the surface, its dark form gliding with irregular movements. Observers strain to identify it, and cameras catch glimpses of its peculiar silhouette, leaving the crowd puzzled and intrigued. The object vanishes again, leaving only ripples and questions about what it truly might be in these murky waters. The sandy seabed lies utterly still beneath the water's surface, yet a hidden intensity pervades this seemingly empty terrain. A subtle displacement of the grains marks the presence of a predator camouflaged and waiting. Something truly remarkable is emerging from the sandy burial site. The strange stargazer fish reveals only its wide, upturned eyes and massive mouth above the sand, holding a motionless pose. It maintains this unnerving watch for any unsuspecting small prey swimming into its deadly strike zone. Its silent watch mimics the heavens, but its true focus is on the shallow depths. What final unwitting victim swims above today? The Araguaia River flows with a deceptive calm as the equatorial sun beats down on its dark surface. Suddenly, the tranquil water is disturbed by a massive, obscure form moving just beneath the water's surface. It is impossibly long and undeniably large.
Esse vídeo deu o que falar nos últimos dias em Conceição do Araguaia, no sul do Pará. Um morador da cidade, acompanhado de um amigo que trabalha como barqueiro, fez as imagens desse movimento, digamos, estranho no rio Araguaia. E pela reação do próprio homem que filma, entende-se que se trata...
This gargantuan creature travels silently, its vast body displacing the currents and creating an unnerving ripple trail in its wake. The glimpse is fleeting, yet it suggests a predator of immense and terrifying power hiding in the depths.
Trata de algum animal gigante que está rondando a embarcação.
Tá com medo não? Eu tô ficando. Vai mais pra frente, devagarzinho, sem eu cair. Vai mais pro rumo pra nós ver. Olha lá, dá pra ver mais ou menos. Fecha ele, pode ir.
What is this leviathan that glides through the river's murky waters? Its full mystery remains completely intact and terrifying. The deep ocean is Earth's final frontier, a lightless world where life often defies belief. Our sub is plumbing the black abyss, searching for the unknown. Then it happens. A bizarre, almost alien shape drifts into our camera's spotlight. We're about to witness a truly rare deep-sea encounter. It's the elusive pelican eel, a creature dominated by an enormous hinged jaw capable of swallowing fish much larger than itself. Its tiny body seems barely enough to support that massive feeding apparatus. It glides like a living shadow. How has this strange survivor adapted to thrive in crushing pressure and perpetual darkness? The deep-sea submersible Alvin is exploring the dark ocean floor thousands of feet down, where life often seems impossible. But suddenly, our powerful lights reveal something entirely new to science. Get ready for the first ever look at an entirely new family of crustaceans. This discovery will rewrite the books. There it is, a 6-inch male, nicknamed the Yeti crab. It moves along the abyssal depths, covered in fine white hair-like filaments that give it an uncanny and shocking appearance. It seems perfectly adapted to his crushing, lightless world. What bizarre survival secrets do those strange white hairs hold for this incredible deep-sea creature? The murky waters of a Florida waterway are utterly silent, holding a primal energy just beneath the surface. The camera waits, focused on the stillness, hoping for a glimpse of the unknown. Suddenly, the calm breaks. A ripple of displacement spreads, indicating a hidden monster is rising. A portion of the creature slowly emerges from the dark water, a monumental shape unlike anything we've ever witnessed in these swamps. The enormous creature pauses for one shocking moment of display, giving us a terrifying glimpse before it slowly descends back into the depths. The water settles once more into silence. What gigantic predator patrols these rivers, and when will it rise again?